Howdy folks, Paul Soares Jr. here. It is January 24th, 2012, and I have a game here I want to share with you called Warlock Master of the Arcane. This is a title I've been keeping my eye on for a while. In fact, a lot of people have been watching this development, and in fact, it's still in beta right now. It's not released. You can't get it yet, but it should be available sometime within the next couple of months. But there's already thousands of people anticipating this title. It's getting a lot of buzz right now. Rock Paper Shotgun just did an article on it a few days ago, and it's kind of being billed the next Master of Magic. It's not quite accurate. It's more of a marriage between Master of Magic and Civilization V, and hopefully those words mean something to you, and if not, then just watch the video. It might be something that you enjoy anyway. It's basically a turn-based strategy fantasy game reminiscent of those titles I just said a minute ago. And well, why don't we hop into the game and I'll show you what it's like. And please keep in mind this is a beta. Things like text may not show up properly. There's going to be a lot of placeholders in certain spots. Not all the artwork is in. I've shut off the music because it's too loud. So this is not going to be a full indie test drive. It's just going to be about 15-20 minutes of actual gameplay and me blabbing about it and drooling all over my keyboard because I'm really excited about this. I think I've said that. I'm going to say it again, probably 3 or 4 more times. All right, without further ado, let's jump into the game and take a peek. Okay, let's start at the start. We're going to make a new game. The difficulty level will be standard. We can choose the size of the world we want to play on, the world type, and the map type. I'm just going to keep that as the defaults. And now here is where we choose our Warlock. So we can choose one of these portraits. These are pre-generated wizards, and they have certain perks already chosen as well as spells over here. But if you want to get in and customize them, you can by clicking on Customize. So the object is we take control of this wizard. We're placed on a random map, and we have to, it's 4X, so we have to explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. So if you're familiar with Civilization or Master of Magic or any other turn-based strategy game, then you know exactly what that means. If not, just watch and we'll do a little bit of that in the next 15-20 minutes. So here's where we can get in and customize if we'd like to. You choose, you get, I think, start with 10 points here, and you can pick spells and some of these perks. So I'm just going to stick with the pre-generated guy here, King Lich the Fifth. Man the guns, join the Navy. And now we hop into the game. Now we're going to start out on a map, again, randomly generated. We have one town. It's called Mist Castle. If you have played Civilization V, then this screen should look really familiar to you. You should be instantly comfortable with it. So why don't we just take a quick look around the map, and I'll show you what's cooking here on the interface anyway. So here's our first starting castle. We have one troop of skeletal warriors, as you can see down here. When you choose your unit, it'll show up down here and give you some specifics about them. They have abilities here, or properties. So it's dead, which gives it resistance to death. It's actually not very good against life magic. So there are different types of magic in the game, and it is resistant to missile fire, so arrows and so forth. They're walkers. They can move 3. They have an attack of 8. So all these units that you run across in the game, you'll be able to make more from your own towns and towns that you conquer. And even if you conquer another race's towns. There are 3 races in the game that will be playable upon release. That's humans, skeletons, and I think goblins, with a 4th being added in downloadable content sometime in the future. So anyway, so here's my archers. Okay, so let me choose my archers. These are obviously ranged attackers, and they shoot a bow, and they have 3 move as well. So what I'm going to do now is just take a little walk out in the woods, and I'm using my mouse wheel here to scroll back and forth. Again, this is pretty much a Civ 5 convention or Civilization convention. Everything's on a hex map, and I just click and send them out. My starting area is surrounded by the fog of war here, and that has to be pushed back simply by scouting. And this is where the exploration part of the 4X comes in. Now, I'm going to make some assumptions that you have played a turn-based strategy game before, and probably use some terms that you would be familiar with. But I know everybody wants to see how much this is like Master of Magic, and frankly, if you look at it, it's more of a Civ. It seems to me Civ 5 Fantasy Edition, but there are some similarities with Master of Magic, such as the wizards. So you've got this overarching wizard. I'm watching all this from my high tower somewhere, and I can cast spells all over the world map anywhere I wish, and that's by clicking on this, bringing up my spell list here. I've only got one right now, but if I run into an enemy, I can just go bink and then zap right from here, which is pretty cool. Here's the research, where we research spells instead of technology like you would in Civ. And in fact, why don't we do this? We'll go over here to the right-hand side. This is where this shows us what we should be doing. It leads you along and says, hey, buddy, choose new research. So we click that, brings up our research selector here. I'm going to choose, let's see, Frost Weapon Enchantments. So there are buffs, there are damage spells, there are debuffs, there are healing spells, and summoning spells. We're going to do summon Ghost Wolves. It's always nice to have some Ghost Wolves with you as you're out exploring your surrounding areas. Okay, order a new building. Let's do that. So now when you have this little town, you can upgrade with buildings. Because right now at the very get-go, you don't have a whole heck of a lot. Up here we have our gold, our food, undead need food, and mana and research. So all the cities that we have and the buildings that we have in those cities will provide some type of resource income. And they also can they can take upkeep as well. So this rat fort, for example, not only gives me +1 production of gold, but it requires 1 upkeep, 1 food upkeep to maintain. So in the beginning of the game, I'm usually just go with some farms. I'm going to stick a farm. You can't build anywhere. You can only build within your border, and this will expand on its own as time goes on. So now my farm is being built there. I can't build anything else while that's being built, and it shows you the number of turns it's going to take. So I'm going to close the city view. Oh, we can build units on this side as well. I'm going to queue up a skeleton warrior. It costs 25 and takes 2 turns, and they also require upkeep of magic and money. Okay, so Miss Castle. Here we go. Now, that's pretty much the end of my turn. Once you move all your troops around, you can't do anything else other than maintain your little house here if you want your castle, but I'm done. So I'm going to click next turn, and now the computer opponent takes its turn. Somebody here is on the move already. These look like neutral goblins. Not sure how many opponents are in the game with me right now, but they're all computer controlled. There is no multiplayer in this game. There won't be on release. So it's single player only. Alright, now my turn is back. So that's how turn-based strategy games work. Essentially, you take your turn, you click end turn, everybody else goes, and then it just cycles through the turns like that. Alright, so let's take a look at this Miss Castle right here. It shows the name of the castle, the number of turns it's taking to build the building. So I've got 4 turns to build a building, and this shows you the unit being made. I'm not sure what that is. Turn 2. Maybe that's a turn counter. Alright, so now let's take a look around the map. We have jungle here. We have some hills. We have dead woods. We have dead woods resource, which is iron. So we have a pocket of iron over there, which may be useful for down the road for making iron weapons, perhaps, or armor. We're going to need these resources. We have silver down here, too. So as we explore, this is the first X and the 4X. And we're going to expand. Oh, yeah, you can right-click any time on any unit on the map, and it gives you a little bit more info. There's a little flavor text here. Tells you the basic type. It's a common shooter. It's dead, it's skeleton, upkeep, and then their resistances. And they do gain promotions over time. And my skeleton warriors are going to go over here and battle these guys. And as they gain experience during fighting, or after fights anyway, they will be able to choose more perks for these guys. I keep right-clicking just to get rid of that walking path there. Alright, so that's it. I moved my 2 guys. Let's just take a look at the map. So this is all under the fog, cloud of war, and I don't know what's down there. Now this is cool. Oh yeah, by the way, this takes place in the world of Ardania, which is the Majesty world. If you're familiar with the game's Majesty, the developer that making this game called Inoco from Russia, they developed Majesty 2, Elven Legacy, I think Fantasy War, so they've got a pretty good track record. So anyway, so my world I'm on right now is Ardania. There are multiple worlds. Here's Desert, and these are placeholders, obviously. There's going to be graphics here. Ice World, Forest World, and then a Moon World. And you will be able to travel between these worlds via portals. Now that is very much a Master of Magic feature. There was the Mirror World and the Home World, or whatever it was called, and you could go back and forth between them through towers. It was pretty cool. Alright, so I am now being attacked by these little spearmen. And these are neutral, I think. Because if I run... Yeah, they're neutral. I think if I run into one of the other players' troopers, they have specific colors, and I think they wave a flag. And they don't normally attack you outright. Alright, that turn is over. It's back to my turn. As you can see, the combat, and this is one of the major differences between this game, Warlock, and Master of Magic. In Master of Magic, your combat was actually played out on a tactical map. So when you attacked another unit, a whole new map would load up, and you'd be able to move your units around individually and cast magic there. But this is all done on the surface map, very much like Civilization 5, where you just put your unit up against another one, and the battles are resolved instantly. There is some retreating, though, as you can see there. So here's what I'm going to do. My castle here is showing me, and here's the news. These are like the little news notifications. They pop up and tell you building complete, recruiting complete, unit need order, enemy at the gate, and order new building. So enemy at the gate, saying there's an enemy near me. I click on that, and now it allows my castle defenders to fire, even though there's no actual unit in there. So bing! Yeah, take that. Get off my land! Says my castle. So now what do we have here? We have some capital, we have skeleton warriors that popped out of the capital. Those are the ones I built earlier. But now I'm going to shoot from these guys. I got my undead archers. Boing. Alright, one guy left, and these guys are going to get the experience for the kill. Yeah, and you can zoom right in. You can hear the different sounds, and this is like Civ 5. The closer you get to certain map features, like the water, you have the ocean. There's jungle. My favorite is swamp. I don't see a swamp here, but there's like little peeper frogs. Okay, so now that they're done moving and they're done moving, why don't we take these skeleton warriors and we'll have him go out this way. Now we will run into the enemy out there somewhere. There's also neutral towns that we can overtake, and that's where the expansion part comes into. So we explore, we expand by either building our own new cities, because we can make a settler, skeleton settlers. We could build a settler, they go off and they plop down, they found a new city, but I just like to conquer neutral towns when I find them. Alright, we have a farm has been built, so our food intake is now a little bit better. That's good. See, this, each one of these will increase something. This one will give us 3 food. A granary gives us extra 50% food, but -2 upkeep. Yeah. Why don't we make a rat fort so we can build some rats? Let's put that in the jungle. Rats like jungles. And that's it for this turn. Now hopefully I'll find an enemy we can shoot with some magic. I could have used magic on those other guys. And I'm just moving the map here with WASD, but you can do it this way as well. Now I can't capture this resource with a unit. I have to have it within my borders, and then I can use it in construction or for some purposes. I don't know exactly yet. Now these guys are hurt. You can see the bar here. So if I had a healing spell, I'd be able to heal them over land, but I don't have that yet. And I'm researching the wolves. Unit need order. So let's go get our unit need order down here. I don't know what the hotkeys are. There's no documentation yet. Well, there is, but it's very sparse. I'm hoping to have like N works for next unit. Just press N and it cycles through the units, the ones that have not gone yet. Right now it's all clicking. And again, since it is a beta, there's quite a bit of work to be done still. It is playable and it's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of spit and polish missing at this point. Now these guys, I'm going to keep them here and sit in one spot. And you look over here, you have these unit orders. Now this is a new one called rest because they're hurt. And now I can just have them sit in one spot and rest up. If you're a Civilization player, you have seen that before. Okay, what do we have here? We have Orgrimmar. So now Orgrimmar appears to be a... Yeah, this is... I've never met actual other player yet, AI player. So this is a neutral town of rats. So we're gonna take this town. And I'm gonna have to bring these guys up to do so. Oops. Click on the castle. I think what I'll do... Ooh, flying rats. 15 gold, 2 turns. 15 gold to make, 2 turns. Minus 2 food. Let's make a flying rat. That sounds interesting. Alright, here we go. We have a flying rat in 2 turns. How do you make a flying rat? Oh, I'm taking shots now. I'm taking fire from the castle. Ew. So now the computer's going. This is just random monsters that you can find. You can find random monster dens just scattered about. You can find old ruins, like an old lost caravan, and you can grab that, and there's usually some kind of cache or something in there. Let's take a look at these guys. What are they? Weak damage dealers. They're just wats. Bit of wats. So why don't we take out the wats? Get them surrounded. And like Civilization, and I should have pointed it out a little better, but if you move your troops onto a square, see down there on the left-hand side, it shows you your odds. So this is like a 3 to 1. So we should be able to take them out. But if I go here, I'm going to be in the range of them. So why don't we do this? We'll zap them with a fire. Oh, look, I get summon ghost wolves now. And it takes 2 turns to cast. Let's do that instead. So now I can cast again. Since I'm the wizard, I can cast these spells overland anytime. Some take longer than a single turn, as you can see there. And I have new research. So why don't we do summon imps. Lesser fireball. As a skeleton mage, as a lich, I don't think I'm going to get any healing spells. Now one of the cool things about this game is that when you take over a city or a town, and it'll offer you whatever happens to be inside that town as far as units and buildings go. When you take it over, you will have access to all those troops. So that's very reminiscent of Magic, Master of Magic, rather than Civilization. Alright, so what do we have here? Spell is ready, unit need order, recruiting complete. Let's call up the wolves. I have summoned ghost wolves. Let's check them out. Ooh, they hit pretty hard. Cost 6 mana to upkeep. Oh my gosh, that's not cool. Look, so now I'm losing mana per turn. That was kind of dumb. So I'm going to have to make a building that increases my mana production. Oh look, here's my flying... What the heck? Flying rats. Oh, I guess that's a bat. Alright, well, let's fly over here. Yeah, so there are flying units, there are water units, and the flying units cannot be attacked by melee troops. You have to have some kind of ranged attacker for them. And in one of my test games, I could actually go into shallow waters with any troop instead of having to rely on some kind of a boat. But I might need boating technology or a harbor first. It was a different game. I had just taken an archer and put him out in the water, and it turns into a really weak little cog. But at least they were able to cross waters. Shallow waters, anyway. Alright, unit need order, recruiting complete, and why don't we end this turn? I'm going to lose 5 mana this turn, so upkeep is going to kill me. Okay, looks like the up... Well, maybe I have something new. I'm making more now. I get I'm a conjurer, so I get +2 from that perk. Plus 2.5 from research. Maybe my research went up. Don't know, but let's move on and do some conquering. So let's move these guys up. The conquering of these towns is similar to Civ, where you can hang back and shoot and blast. It fights back a little bit. It has a kind of a defense rating, I suppose you would say. I wish I had my archers up here. So it's just a strength bar, and you just beat it down until there's nothing left, and then you can move right in. I didn't see any option to raise the town or anything like that. It was just you take it over. Shadow Bolt. Frost Weapon. That's a nice one. Let's do Shadow Bolt. Alright, next turn he fires. That hurt. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast, let's see, Lesser Shadow Bolt is one turn. Let's hit this with a Fireball. Fireball falls out of the heavens. Am I still summoning wolves here? What's going on? Okay. New quest. I'm not sure what's happening there. Hang on. Alright, so here we have a quest. Build a craftsman district. If we do so within 20 turns, we get a reward. Okay. Again, keep in mind this is a beta, so some things are not working as they should. Let's just attack it the old-fashioned way. So I just throw my men against the walls. Now we have to kill the defenders first. Oh, these guys shoot too. Ooh, nice. They shoot fireballs. That was fairly effective. These guys can shoot up to 1 hex away. Those archers, I can't reach them from there. Oh, they're warriors. What happened to my archers? Alright, I somehow summoned an additional unit of wolves. I'm not sure what I did. Maybe I was supposed to unclick something, or I clicked it by accident. So that's why I didn't do the fireball thingy. Alright, let's do unit need order. Might as well attack. Oh my gosh, he's fleeing. Alright, next turn, and the rats are vacating the castle. Oh, here he comes. Okay, now the castle also has its own built-in defense. Oh my gosh, what are those? Foxes? Ferrets? Oh, we have a promotion. My skeleton warriors. Alright, so we have unit need order. Level up, select a perk. And these are, let's see, cover specialist. These are passive perks and bonuses. Resistance to melee, furious charge. I will do, let's make him hit harder. Okay, now I want to cast, alright, that check mark must mean that that spell is ready. That's what happened. Why don't we cast them on the wolves? Get my fireball spell. There we go. Okay, so that was my bad. It wasn't a bug. I just goofed. And we'll send these wolves after them. I don't care if they die because they're taking up a lot of my mana. Yeah, we did it anyway. Okay. Okay, we can beat on the town here. And that's the strength bar. When that strength bar reaches 0, the town is ours. Did you guys already go? Crunch, crunch. This is a tough little town. So now taking over towns is not quite as difficult an affair as it is in Civ 5, but it does take a little bit of work. Alright, let's go order a new building. We need mana. So how do we get more mana? A magic tower that actually requires mana. I'm not sure what that does. Maybe extends the power of our spells? Smithy. Rat fort. I thought I made a rat fort. I made a rat something. I guess I can make another rat fort. Food. Let's get some taxes up here. Let's get some more money. Maybe we can convert money to mana somehow. Alright, looks like my upkeep is okay for right now. Everything requires... these guys just require food. I didn't think skeletons would require food. Oh, we have monster-eating spiders in our borders. So let's nail them. And castles are pretty tough. Oh, this thing shoots too. Oh, that's cool. So the rat fort can shoot too. Nice. Quite fortuitous. Okay, next turn. Our castle is safe. This is really nice that you can actually move around the map while waiting for the enemy to take his turn, instead of locking up on you like some other games. Attack the town, Ogormore. All right, we're just going to keep attacking with everybody. Looks like there's another castle over there. Is that what that is? Yeah, this is a tough little place. Ooh, that. Furious charge. A little extra damage. These guys level up too. Nice. Spreading. Plus 20 missiles. Let's give him extra damage as well. And now we're ready to go to the next turn. There's a hole. Oh, here's a Ratman hole here. We'll have to go defeat that den and we'll get some kind of cash bonus usually. Skeletons? Alright, what do we have here? Recruiting complete and unit need order. Alright, let's fire. So this is the way of it. Oh, we got it. Basically explore and send your scouts out. Hey, how did they... We're in the town. Oh, it's ours. Okay, we took it. I expected some fanfare and clapping and cheering, but that didn't happen. And now let's go, we'll just have to defend it. So let's move our troops around a little bit. We can go scout. Let's just cast a spell for the heck of it. Oh, I don't even have enough mana. Can I eliminate these guys? I'm wondering if I can get rid of my ghost wolves. They're too expensive. I guess I could just throw them against somebody, huh? And have them defeated. That's what I'm going to have to do. Alright, so we have the bats over here. Bat rats. We're going to go fly and take a peek. But that is in essence how a 4X game works. Here's another town. Let's scroll out and take a look at my area. So now I have expanded my reach. I have another town here that's going to increase. I don't have it under my control yet. I think it takes a few turns. And then once I have it under my control, it will contribute its gold income, food income, and mana and science and research to my overall total, I believe. And then I will just continue here exploring out and finding these resources. Once you get some of these resources within your boundaries, you can start taking advantage of whatever it happens to offer, like upgraded weapons perhaps. Maybe I'll get silver weapons, or it might be the money. Iron's probably going to allow some kind of weapons or armor upgrades. And you'll find these things scattered all about. Pumpkins is food. Pumpkins is food. Right, let's hit end turn. Oh, we're taking fire from Gnome Wall. My green rats. Yeah, what are they sending after me? Mises. We cut those Mises to pieces. Alright, Mises to pieces. Sounds fair. Building is complete. I can make a new building here. And unit need order. So now we have more money. Okay, the building is complete. Where? Alright, what do we have here? Bats. Like Civ, we can only have one. There's no unit stacking. Whoops, wrong guys. My bad. So You have to arrange your troops around strategically. You want your melee up front, obviously, and the ranged troops behind during combat. Now, what happens if I leave this town? Oh, there's rats there. Shoot them! I like that. Oh, yes, my bats have been upgraded to Sharp Tooth, more damage. Pathfinders. Passive. Oh, now I can pass through. Ooh, nice. Or range. Recon Specialist. Sight range increase. I think this would be good. So now these guys can pass through terrain that they wouldn't normally be able to. And we'll do more scouting here. So we will expand. We will exploit the resources of the world here and rape the natural world. We will also expand our holds, gain more power, and then we will run into, hopefully, the enemy sooner or later, the enemy mages, and exterminate them. Now there's about 4 or 5 different victory conditions. One is completely exterminating your enemies, and the other being, the other types was something where you could become a demigod. You have to kill, there's some standing god avatar walking around, and if you destroy him, you become a demigod. There's also a spell, probably very difficult to cast. If you cast that spell of Unity, I think it was called, then you are the master mage of the world. So there are some non-military ways to win the game as well. I think there were a couple of more. I don't recall them offhand. But hey, if you're interested in this game, I would recommend heading over to the forums. I'll put a link in the description of the video, and you can sign up for the forums and join in the discussion and help the developers test out the game and so forth. I'm not sure if they're still accepting beta applications or not. But if they are, then I would go fill one out and try to get in here. If you're a fan of Master of Magic or Civilization or any kind of turn-based strategy, you'll probably adore this game. It's also very accessible. I think the user interface here is approachable enough for a casual gamer, you know, someone that's familiar with gaming in general, maybe RTS games or shooters or something. They may want to try a turn-based strategy game. It doesn't bog you down with a bunch of numbers and spreadsheets. Everything's here where you need it. Big buttons, brightly lit. They make a lot of sense, and I think it's very approachable. Now that right there is a shipwreck. It's just a little, like in Civ they call them goodie huts. You just walk onto it and you get whatever happens to be inside. Usually cash or something. So here's a rat manhole. We need to eliminate that. Oh, source, donkeys. I have no idea what donkeys do. Now I can fight these guys with impunity because I'm flying and they don't shoot. So I'm just going to blast them all. I'm not sure about the monster killers. So I think I'm going to cut out now. I would imagine I've given enough of a look for you guys to at least get a taste of the gameplay. Sadly, I didn't get to meet another wizard. But they're out there. In one of my other games, I saw one of their troops floating around in a boat. He stopped by. Didn't attack me. There is some kind of diplomacy in the game. I never got that far, but you will be able to contact the other wizards and make deals and trade and start wars and call them names or whatever. It's in there. Okay, here's what's happening. This bar is going up, and when it reaches the end, that's when it becomes mine, and I'll be able to get inside and make changes to it. Or maybe I can do that. Oh, never mind. It is mine. That health bar is just a health bar. My bad. But it doesn't look like it can choose anything to build yet. So maybe I do have to wait. Yeah, I've only played this for about an hour or so, so you have to excuse me not knowing everything. And I'll have you guys heal. We're going to shoot you again. Back in the old days, Civ 5, Civilization, and Master of Magic, these are always called one more turn type games, where you just say, you know what, I'm going to go to bed now, and then one more turn. Let me just get that, waiting for that building to pop at the capital. And then, so you play one more turn, and then the Then you know that building pops and like, oh wait, one more turn. I want to get that awesome unit that I've never had before. That awesome spell is going to be researched next turn, and it's just one more turn, and that's how it is really. This game's going to be extremely addicting. But it is late here, well, late in the afternoon. My kids are going to be here any minute, and you're going to hear a lot of stomping above me. I'm in the basement, so I think I'm going to cut out and get this. Save this game, and I may return to it later and show you more if you're interested. If so, then put in the comments if you want to see more. I'm happy to oblige. If you have any questions, drop there down in the comments, and I'll see if I know the answer. I will try to provide you with one. All right, I'm out of here. We'll catch up to you all soon. Have a good day.